What's going on, everyone? Jason, venture ready, off grid, sometimes on grid. Just doing a little check-in, jamming down Beeline Highway, or I guess I say up Beeline Highway. You can see the reflection about it. See a couple things reflection, but you can see maybe a container on the back of my trailer. I'm heading back up north Arizona from California. So people have been asking a lot about the containers. I know I mentioned a couple of my videos. I never really did a full rundown. At least I don't think I did. I've been pretty busy, so maybe I did it and I didn't realize it. So anyhow, I'm just jamming up the highway with a container. This is actually a container from one of my places, one of my properties. I'm going to build a little garage out of two. Excuse me. I just had a delicious home-cooked meal from the I've never seen a gas station with Little Caesars in it, so I did indulge in a deliciously nutritious lunch. I crave pizza pretty much 24 hours a day. And Little Caesars isn't exactly the way you want to quench that thirst, but I'll take it. It was hot, fresh, and ready. I would say the hot part that got down, the ready for sure. The fresh would be debatable. But yeah, I'm just jamming up back up to one of the properties. So getting back to the storage container thing, I got a lot of requests via YouTube, phone, and on my email. I should be pretty much caught up with like life by the end of next week, or let's say like the second week of August. So, and then I'll be kind of focusing more on I say that all the time in my videos, man. No offense to any morons out there, present company included. Yeah, I'll be about the second week of August. I'll be kind of gearing up a little bit on the container deal. It's not that I'm not full-fledged in it right now. I have been. It's actually what's been kind of throwing me a curve. I probably should have waited till August 1st to launch, and I would have, get some of this other stuff done. But I kind of launched by default, and I've got about maybe 8 containers out so far, which isn't a lot, but for a guy that's semi-retired, it is a lot. So anyway, I'm ordering a bigger trailer, a 40-foot trailer, so I can bring up 2 20-footers at a time. My biggest problem right now is just people want the containers, and they're asking for containers, and I'm having to jam down and grab them one by one and not really stockpile them. The last 3 containers I picked up, I literally put them on my truck at the Long Beach port there, like off of the not the actual drop off, but the little subsidiary yard they have down the street where I get them from through my contact. I literally took a picture, sent it to the first in line on the people that are waiting for them, and the last 3 times in a row has been bring it to my place immediately. I haven't even needed to take deposits, and there's so much demand for these things right now that if unless it's going to be way out of the way, but I mean even with that, if it's even close to where I'm going to end up anyhow, I've been able to jam them straight to people and just pony up when we get there. Everything's all good to go. There's enough demand if for some reason they didn't like the purple or pink or red or green or the color was in the picture in person, I would just call the next 15 people that are waiting. So yeah, it's a good problem to have. I was a little worried about that. Like I said, I want to simplify life, and so far for a creature of habit, like all of us are, humans are creatures of habit. We're very habitual, and I've worked for 30 some odd years pretty strenuously as far as 2 jobs at the same time, traveling jobs, other things going on in life, besides the family, and racing motocross and putting on events while working. I've always kept myself really busy, so I think that's just basically the nature of the beast for me. So my simple life might be a couple years down the road. I thought I was going to get into it a little quicker, but the container thing's interesting to me. I'm going to start using it to build on all my properties with them. A couple of little workshops on my 2 small properties, and a massive kind of guy or gal, fun factory garage type of thing on my big property down the road here with a few 40-footers. So anyway, I like them as a building material. Obviously, I'm using them as a resource for some form of income for me and the boys for right now. And then I'm going to start modifying them in the future. So my focus would be on getting my boys into transporting them for the quick turnaround sale, as far as getting them in bulk, bringing them up to northern Arizona, doing local delivery and charging a little bit of an upsell plus the delivery and the setup fee if people want us to level them out or anything like that. We'll get more into that probably as things go, as far as maybe supplying the stuff to level them out. Right now, I'm just using people's 2x4s and 4x4s and whatever they have at their place, which has worked out fine. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to try and get that a little bit more organized to where eventually my sons will do that and give them an opportunity to go down and see grandma and grandpa on both sides of the family down in Southern California, pick up a couple containers and then jam them back up there. I want to work on modifying them. I really want to do some like hunting shacks, people with hunting properties up here, you know, one with maybe a standard man door or a woman door, whatever. So a standard door, some vinyl windows that, you know, obviously open and close easily, maybe some like metal, like kind of security, not grid, but like, you know, like security you see on a house. That way if you leave it locked up on a property, you're not, you know, commonly at, you know, maybe a little more security. Maybe roll-up doors. People like the roll-up doors a lot. So anyway, the month of August, the second 2 weeks of August, I guess the end of August, I'm going to toy with like, I bought 3 containers for myself. That's also part of my hang-up too. I didn't buy pretty ones. I bought ugly ones for myself. Also wanted to kind of see how the as-is market. I'm buying cargo worthy right now, which is like a couple steps up from like the bare, you know, not the bare minimum. They're a little bit nicer looking. They have really nice seals on them. They have a nice, you know, threshold as far as the entry, the opening, the main opening on the containers. They're not rusted out. The pillars are strong enough to stack them. Those are the kinds I'm selling up here, and they come with an invoice too that indicates they're to that level. That way, someone buys it and wants to sell it down the road, they're not like stuck with, you know, I think, you know, what level is it? So, anyway, I've been trying to find some as is. A lot of customers are, you know, not every customer, but occasionally I get a customer saying, "Hey, do you have anything cheaper than this, or payments, or whatever else?" So I am adamantly keeping my eyes peeled for not thrashers, but like private party sales. I get them all through a direct contact at one of the ports, but I'm trying to find some, you know, pick up some here and there off of private property, private sellers, I guess you say, that if I go to their house and I say I'll buy all 4 of these, I can get a pretty good deal. But they may not be perfect. I have some of the whirly birds on them, the little, you know, vents on top, which some people like, some people don't like. You can seal those up fine. The few I just picked up for myself, one has a roll-up door, 2 do not, 2 have whirly birds, 1 does not. One had a patch about 4 by 3 foot on the roof done by the company I bought it from, so, but it's done with a piece of metal. It's a good quality shape. I have to redo the wood in the back of that one. So some of these I may pick up rough and start cataloging them on Facebook, or start my own little website, which I just haven't got to. Like I said, maybe by September 1st I'll have that up and rolling, and just show some cataloging of, okay, here's my as is. Also giving you guys a price. People are interested in saying, okay, that's the as is price, that's how I picked it up, I've transported it, I get my transport money back, I get delivery money, and then a little bit of upsell, obviously, just for being the guy that middlemaned it. That's just how business works. But I also make a list maybe saying to bring this to watertight, because some of them might have drill holes. They might have stuff that people drill to the side, shelves and crap like that. Now I got them empty, so there's like, you know, 10 holes on the side that can be welded up in a second. I mean, I'm a very basic welder if you've seen my welding DIY videos, but I'm getting a lot better. But I'm definitely capable of welding up a container, and that's part of what my welding interest was too. That stuff around our property, like fences and basic metal work, you know, threshold stuff, welcome sign, whatever, that kind of stuff I want to be able to do myself with metal as opposed to wood sometimes, because I like working with metal and wood. But anyway, so I might do some as-is pricing, but also put on there, you know, if you want me to turn this into a watertight, I can. Here's the 5 things that are wrong with it now. This is what the price would be if I did that. I don't mind projects like that. You're basically commissioning a project. Anyhow, so that's kind of the future. I'm based out of northern AZ, Concho area. I do have, like I said, multiple lots right now. I'm looking for another lot to turn into a potential storage facility in the future. So, like I mentioned in other videos, my homestead is not what's going to make my income. Technically, I'm semi-retired as of May 1st. I quit my job and walked away from a healthy 6-figure income that, you know, I created through my buddy's shop. I had a cool little thing going for about 5 years, but I've always done really well in sales and marketing and business management and athlete management in the motorcycle industry. So, but yeah, I walked away from a pretty fat income. Most people thought I was crazy, and probably still do. I tell you what, I haven't missed my job once. I've kept my head afloat. I've made some good investments on some things I've sold. vehicles, things I've liquidated, not because I had to, but I had planned to. I bought them with the intent of selling them for this venture. So no surprises there. It was stuff that I looked into, and it worked out. I mean, those the surprises when it works out. You always want it to work out. I hope for the best and plan for the worst, I guess I should say. I've always been that kind of person. Very detailed, very organized. I always hope, for things that they make sense to me, that I hope they work that way. But also plan if they don't work that way, what's your, sales-wise, what's your low getting out, what's your high getting out, what's your mid-ground, but buy right and you're fine. Investing-wise, same thing. I mean, just look at what you're investing in. So I grew up in Southern California. The storage thing's brand new to me. So is buying multiple properties. I mean, in Southern California, I don't exist. I'm a freckle down there in the scheme of the wealth, even making six figures for 20 some odd years of my life. Having some really good years too. I mean, even having good years recently with the COVID thing and all that disastrous mess. I actually made more money. So in the discipline I was in, it worked out fine. But down there, just the money doesn't go anywhere. So not saying Arizona, other states too. Other states are cheaper than that. I mean, I have places I can go buy houses for like 15 grand, fixer-uppers and stuff. Just a different dynamic, different economic structure, different potential out there in different states. But Arizona so far has treated me really well. People are awesome. I love it out there. We're getting back to containers, like I said, by September 1st. Hopefully I'll have a little website launch with some pricing, and I'll catalog stuff as far as pictures. Facebook, I'll use that as well. I'll be honest, I mean, the website will probably be more my primary push. I'll drop a little bit of information on YouTube just so people can look to it. I have enough bulletin boards in my area. The general stores, the Walmarts, I mean, the feed store, everywhere you go, the gun store, they all have a bulletin board with that old school. Just put that piece of paper on there, little pull tabs with my number. I want to go old school, man. I want that. I'll get a damn flip phone. I want someone just to call me off that little ad at the general store and go, hey, I need a container. I mean, that's what I'm looking for in the future. So that might seem crazy to some, but I can tell you, if you put your mind to it, there's a lot of different ways to get your hustle going and provide yourself an income without having to succumb to wearing a stupid uniform or putting a mask on your face, or may as well just put one over your damn eyes with stupid the world is these days. But there's a lot of things you can do where you're in control of your time, you're in control of your income, you're in control of you're in control of the losses too, but you're also in control of the profits. Whether it's a craft or a skill. I always watch YouTube. I'm tangenting right now, guys can't figure it out, but I always watch YouTube videos, and a lot of guys, especially the homesteading stuff, what appealed to me, off-grid and homestead, a lot of these people got into the off-grid homestead, and the dudes, the guys building like knives and stuff, or tools, and blacksmithing, and building bits and stuff with wood or metal. The wife might be doing the same. She might be building knives or bags, or we were gardening, guys gardening too. I mean, I'd always hear them talk about they never had the chance to do that when they had a real job. You just work it all the time. I mean, I can completely relate to that. I raced motocross my whole life, so that was my spare time, and riding bikes in general, obviously my family and stuff, but the motorcycle thing, mountain bikes, things like that was easy because I've always known how to do it. So I'm not learning anything new. I'm just filling my time, with stuff that I enjoy doing when I'm not working. But man, you end up working so many freaking hours of your life away. 5-6 day work week and 8 to 12 hour days, and a yes sir, no sir. I'm not really a yes or no sir guy, but luckily I've always been the manager, or the sales manager or salesman or independent contractor. I've never had a yes or no sir. I don't do that real well, just because I cut my hair in a bad version of a military haircut sometimes. I can't do that. I'm way too outspoken to be a, get in a line guy, or just run through the motions. I'm definitely the thinker, the dreamer, but I'm also the guy that puts it together on paper and then brings it to fruition in real life. So I'm start to finish, and I usually hire pretty good teams to help me get to that level that are better than me in certain areas, and I manage it. But anyway, same thing as I said with the container thing. I got that by a fluke. I bought a trailer and containers because it was so expensive when I got quotes. And like I said, I'm not the cheapest. Well, I am the cheapest guy in town, but I'm not the cheapest guy doing it. But I can still make a profit and try to match or beat other prices in the area. Not just to put them on hawk, but just to try and pay it forward. If I can get a deal, pass that deal forward. If I can't get a deal, my prices are firm. It's just how it is. I mean, you got to move around with the economy and also with the inflation and just what you get your product for. So there's a demand, you got to supply it. If your supply costs more, then that price goes up, and the demand doesn't seem to be diminishing either way. So anyway, I will get back to anyone. I do have an email I just saw from a gal, I believe. I think I just got a YouTube message today. I've just been behind, so lots of stuff going on, lots of driving back and forth. I accumulated a ton of shit in like 46 years of my life. I thought I had it all kind of categorized and scaled down, and I still buy stuff and tools. I'm a tool freak, so I got enough tools to start my own Walmart-sized workshop if I wanted to. So I'm taking containers out to the property right now for my own use, fill with the rest of my crap that I hadn't got out of my buddy's shop. Luckily, he's cool enough to let me keep it there. Doesn't really get in his way to the most part, but getting that stuff out of the way. Then I still got a killer Weekend Warrior project. Looks like a damn skeleton pirate ship going down the road with no sides on. I got to figure out. So still got a couple toy horrors for sale. Got a toy horror I'm building. We did sell our motorhome to a really cool couple, so that worked out great. They were in a transition in life where they wanted a big motorhome like that, and I was in a transition in life where I swear, like a little tear going down the cheek when it drove off. But it was a perfect timing for the fact that we're moving out to work on our big property, and we have a small dwelling on one of the small properties we bought to live in temporarily while we kind of get everything under control. And I'm probably going to turn my other lot into a temporary landing zone for overflow on these containers and stuff until my neighbors get pissed and tell me to move them. So I don't think we have any restrictions on that, so I can probably just keep them out there. But either way, we'll use that space for a while here and kind of get things going. But yeah, back to it. August 1st, or middle of August, I should have kind of caught up with the whole container deal. As far as getting back to people, I will get back to the people that are waiting right now. But I'll have more of like a recipe around the basic menu of this is the cost, this is expectations, here's some other things I'm going to offer as well. When I say building, I kind of broke away from that earlier. The long term for me is using containers in my builds on my property, and in doing that, I'm going to trial and error my creativity and my ability to cut doors and put mini splits or solar systems or viewing deck on the ones I'm buying for myself, which I'll end up probably with like about 15 containers between my large property and the two small properties, as far as 15 containers to build things I want. I'm talking about my goat little barns. It's going to be a 20-foot container with a side cut out, with a opening patio style entrance. My workshop's going to be 3 40-foot containers in a U with a concrete floor and rafters. Rafters, I got some lead on some metal beams, so I'm not going to do that it'll probably be 6 months, a year before I even touch that project, to be honest. But I already got them all up here, or I've written them down, on pen and paper, just like I did my little tiny house, and now I want to lay my big property out. So anyhow, I guess what I'm getting at is containers will be a long-term thing for me. If by any means I don't sell them in the future for some odd reason, if I get out of that, or the shift in prices or whatever, I don't foresee that. I'm going to use them in my storage facility down the road, which would be a passive piece of income I'm going to invest in. I'm also going to use them on my property, as far as in different capacities, from a workshop to a goat barn, basically, to maybe a generator pump house thing. They're not the cheapest things to work with. I get them decently cheap when I buy more than one. I make bids just like I do on properties for like 6 at a time. So if someone's got, I ran a guy over 28 of them on his property. I told him my price is per unit. I can't buy all 28 in one swoop. I don't have those kind of deep pockets. I keep some reserve under the pillow and in the lock box, and very little in the bank. But I do have enough to commit to it and say, okay, I'll buy 4 of those or 2 of those each week, consecutively until they're gone. So I run into deals like that. Anyway, so that's how you get a discount. You buy in bulk. Yeah, so they're still not the cheapest thing, but right now, crazy as it is, I can't build a wooden structure with a decent roof on it for cheaper than I can purchase a 20-foot by 8-foot by 8.5-foot shipping container. So I wouldn't think, it used to be that way because they were so cheap. Now they're expensive, but wooden stuff's so costly and just not lowering at all. Maybe piddles off 20 cents, and then other material, the nails go up or the screws go up. So anyway, the containers are the cheapest way for me to build right now, and they're growing on me as far as setting up for other people and working with them now. And I have friends in the same industry that I go by their houses and they're putting patio doors and sliders, all kinds of cool stuff, mini split ACs. So anyway, I'm getting intrigued by that. So that'll be my long goal with the containers, is to build custom containers with from like a hunting shack, kind of already pre-canned, put it on your property, buy it, boom, I drop it off there, and you got a badass place to go. It's basically like a adult clubhouse, a she shed type of thing. I'm starting to dabble with painting them. So I'll document some videos on the 3 I bought for my small property right now. I'm going to paint all 3 of them, and I'm going to modify all 3 of them in one extent or another. So I'll document what I'm doing on that, and literally I'm trial and erring. Very basic construction skills to do it looks like, and from my friends doing what I see. So I'm going to do them on the ones that I own for myself, and then if they come out awesome, then I'm going to start offering that as far as a B, and C menu that people can buy off me. And I'll probably buy brand new ones though, so I mean, or one trips, so 20s and 40s, but they'll be 9.5 foot tall instead of 8.5, and they'll be pristine. So rather than trying to fix them up, I start with something that's gorgeous, and I guess as pretty as a container can get. I think they're pretty cool looking, like something with no flaws, and then I add to it rather than taking a piece of crap that's cheap and then trying to build it into a mansion or something, polish it a turd. Start with a nice one, which unfortunately the prices will be up there, and they'll just go more when I modify them, but they'll be very specific, A, B, and C basic setup, and then I'll try and do a menu like other companies do, where add a door, add this. These are just the generic CAD costs, but that's my focus right now, and that sounds busier than usual, and it probably will be, but my thing is, I'd like to say I build 4 custom ones a month. I'd rather do that than sell 10 standard ones, and it will change my market a little bit, but I'm also trying to develop this for my kids too. So if I can develop the marketplace to where my kids just pick up my 2 sons, which are 17 and 15 right now, if they go pick up containers and we just sell those as is, and I put a couple aside each month for me to do projects on, I can technically work on the projects, and that's what I enjoy doing. They may turn into enjoying that as well, and maybe get them into that, but for now they can kind of be the support staff and do the basically the quick flip stuff where we just buy and sell, and then I can be home a little bit more working on modifying them as I get hopefully better at that, or find a little recipe. So anyway, long story longer, that's what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm still flying down this road. I love this part of the drive. Once you get on, it's like Beeline Highway 260 or whatever, and you're heading up towards Payson, it just gets pretty. I mean, this is like a true high desert to me, where you get that deserty terrain, but you got the nice elevations. You get some greens, a little taxing on the fuel, a little taxing on the motor. Just had my trailer break last week. I broke it. It wasn't like it broke. It's a badass, beautiful trailer. I just did some dumb stuff and thought I was actually trying to not shortcut, but just see if I could make my pickup and delivery more efficient on my buddy's property with my own containers, just practicing different things as far as my load, and I just destroyed the back end of my trailer. So anyway, I'll do a video on that. My buddy helped me weld it back up. I chopped a bunch of stuff off and changed the back end, which it's debatable on whether it was a good choice, but it's working, and the other day it wasn't. And then my truck stopped working. My daily driver truck, operational vehicle, dually purpose-built vehicle or purpose-purchased vehicle, just decided not to work. But I think I just cooked one of the batteries, and the electrical was doing some funny stuff. So I just put a couple new batteries in there, and then I was due for service anyway. I'm really adamant about, I don't do it myself, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I work on motorcycles and Jeeps. That's fun, but my dualies and stuff like that, or my motorhome, when I had it, I just bring it to a professional and just pucker up when they say, yeah, it's a couple grand for that oil change and the flux capacitor revamp. But yeah, so I was due for some service anyway. So now I'm back operational. Truck's running good, all serviced up. Big difference on the temperature's a little bit cooler too, but I was running pretty hot. I think my coolant and oil stuff are breaking down because I was kind of stretching it. You never wanted to do that on your vehicle you rely on for your mainstay of a business and for transportation. But anyhow, so yeah, I'm back on the ball. I got, like I said, September 1st, I'm going to try and set up a basic website for what I do. I'll keep using the Facebook and what is that, Offer Up. I'm on there. I don't do Instagram. That's just like too cool for me right now. I have a hard time keeping up as it is. And Facebook, I'll be just honest with you, I hate that platform for the fact that it's just, you know, all the progressive stuff they have on there and all the silencing of people's voices. I don't even like using it at all. I just use it right now because it's a way to communicate. I may get on some of the conservative platforms to advertise. I don't want to get into politics, like I said. Obviously, you know, you can't see my sticker in the background. It should say F all politicians. I don't like any of them, but yeah, I'm definitely not for what's going on in our world right now. So anyway, I like to get on platform. I don't like to support businesses that don't support free speech and, you know, freedom in general. So I like to get off Facebook, but for now it's a necessary evil. It just is what it is. But yeah, that's my rant. Oh, also stay tuned. I got a new YouTube channel coming out. I know this channel's only gotten so big. I'm not trying to get famous. I'm okay with 50 people watching that actually care and give me good feedback, and I bounce feedback. I have really good people. If you look at my comments, I try and respond to everything. The good people on there, or, you know, everyone's a good person. I'm saying people that have similar desires will get on there and go back and forth, and are just, you know, throwing goofy jokes. That's awesome. I like the people that communicate one on here. We're getting back to it. I have a new YouTube channel coming up. I'll announce it here pretty soon. I'm big on van life. I love camping. I love off-road vans. I love 4x4 vans. I'm not real big on the transit Sprinter thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I won the lottery, I'd go buy one in a second. That's like 1.2 billion, I think, right now, the California Mega Millions. But I don't have that kind of luck. But no, I like those vans. But I like the E350, the E series vans. I really dig on them. I used to use them for motocross. I just bought a 2013 E350 passenger gasser 5.4 liter, you know, gas motor off a transportation company. It's just, you know, it's just like something you go to the airport in. But I'm going to lift it. Do a little like 5-6 inch lift on that, off-road tires. I already have a bunch of overland camping stuff because I've always done that with my kids for our Jeeps and things like that in the past when we were spending the money faster than we were making it. But so I have enough stuff to outfit the van out pretty quick, so don't think I went on a spinning spree. It's shit I bought years ago. But I'll do a video of that, and I'll do on this channel, and I'll launch a separate channel that will be strictly camping, van build, van lift, van maintenance, van stuff. So anyway, camping stuff. It doesn't mean van, but I like vans. I think vans are just cool. I always used them for motocross racing and for other jobs, stuff in the past, or race support stuff or whatever, you know. Renting one at an airport for the whole race team to jump in. And I've actually jumped a few minivans well enough the Enterprise rental car actually had me on a no-fly list for a while. I couldn't rent an Enterprise car for like 12 years. So allegedly it may have caught some air. You know, there may have been 12 people in it. May have been in front of the hotel restaurant, in front of all the other race teams, just to let them know that, hey, we are badass. You know, we're not just some pushover race team. We're Rockstar Suzuki back in the old days, and we were not afraid to jump in rental vans out of the green belt of the restaurant in front of the hotel onto the asphalt like an idiot multiple times. So anyhow, I'm into vans. I'll launch it on here. I'll get you guys my other channel. I gotta remember what it is. So, but I will have just strictly van camping, overlanding content on that. Okay. So if you stuck with me this long, I apologize. 28 minutes is long for a rant, but I'm a talker, man. So it's like 2 minutes in normal person time. So stay safe out there. We got some rain, man. I love this. This is so cool, man. The weather out here is just, I dig on it. So. And so far, all 3 properties are monsoon-proof. It goes right around all of them. So, as long as no one does anything weird with the dirt, no earth shifting, we should be good. Be able to keep that thing going. So, but I'll catch up with you guys later. We'll get some updates on not the tiny house, but the tiny house 2.0 on-grid, Venturity on-grid house. That's why I say second week of August. So the next 2 weeks I'm dedicated to kind of 2 more trips back and forth, and then getting that house fully turnkey, so the kids and I aren't like half in a toy hauler, half in a house in the future. All right, stay safe, man. Throw some comments in there, guys. I love talking to everyone. I always mention what we're willing to help. I got 2 strong boys, myself. I know we're busy. September 1st moving on, we'll be a little more slowed down, and if you're local to the area, I literally, my son's as strong as an ox, both of them, and I'm losing my muscle content lately for some reason, but I'm still strong as an ox. I have a big ass trailer once I'm up here. I don't mind helping people out here and there. Covering my gas, man. The gas is expensive, but other than that, if you need help with something, let me know. If, like I said, we can go back and forth to help each other, I'm always down for that. I can't see nothing on that really. It just smashed me up. But yeah, reach out. Build some community, man. Thanks, guys. Take care.